Hi, and welcome back to Math Movies with Ms. Feuer-Beck and Ms. Veluti. Today we will be dividing whole numbers by fractions. Here's an example of an equation that's a whole number divided by a fraction. 4 divided by 1/2 equals blank. Now, in order to solve this, I want to just get one quick misconception out of the way. Oftentimes, people think that this means 4 divided in half, or 4 divided by 2. And that's actually a really different equation. 4 divided by 2 means that we would be taking 4 objects, as these squares below, and breaking them into groups of 2. Our answer would be 2. But that, in fact, is a really different problem than the one we have listed here above. So, we have 4 divided by 1/2 equals blank. What does that mean? Well, one way to think about that is to turn it into a missing factor problem. And to do that, we would come up with blank times 1/2 equals 4. Now, one way to think about what that actually means is to think about how many halves are there in 4, or how many groups of 1/2 are there in the number 4. Another way to think about it is what number times 1/2 equals 4. So we can think about it in both of those ways. Now that we have our equation and our missing factor problem, it's really helpful to use a story problem to help us to understand the context. Here's a story problem for this equation. Amy has 4 cups of flour and needs half a cup of flour to make 1 cupcake. How many cupcakes can she make? So what I've done here below is I've drawn 4 squares, and we're going to imagine that each of the squares represents 1 cup of flour. So in total here, I have her 4 cups of flour. Now, I know that she needs 1/2 cup of flour to make 1 cupcake. So what I'm going to try to do here is think to myself, how many halves are there in 4? I'm going to break apart 1 cup of flour into half-sized pieces. And I'm going to do the same thing for all my cups of flour. Now, I have 1/2 cup of flour, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So in total, how many cupcakes can she make? She can make 8 cupcakes. That means that 4 divided by 1/2 equals 8, and 8 times 1/2 equals 4. That was an example of dividing a whole number by a fraction using the help of a visual model.